have reached the Bonner County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. If you know the 4-digit extension number of the person you wish to speak with, please dial it now. Otherwise, for dispatch or to report a crime, press 3. For the jail, including inmate information, fingerprinting, and the inmate labor program, press 2. For the Sheriff's Office, press 1. Dispatch, this is Amber.
Hi, Amber. I had a question for you, and you need to know how to handle a situation that's kind of taken place. Is that something you can help me with?
I can put out a call and have a deputy or officer contact you.
Well, whichever gives me the course of action that I need to take. That's what I'm looking for.
Can you give me just a brief description of what you're looking for?
Yeah, well, I have a guy who's trying to move our road access, the actual easement. He's just trying to move it. And so I don't want, obviously I don't want it moved, right? It's a contract, so I don't want it moved. So I just want to make sure that it stays in place until we get to go to court. So what I'm asking is if when he starts to move the road, do I just call a deputy out to get him to stop?
So do you guys have paperwork saying where it's supposed to be and that kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay, because this is obviously a civil matter, so if it did happen and he was trying to move it, you can definitely call in here, we can put a call out, as long as there's paperwork in place that they're able to look at.
Yes.
And then we can have a deputy respond out there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because the problem is that if he moves it while I'm not here, or if he reroutes it, then I am trespassing on a new easement that is unrecorded. Right. So I don't want to be committing any crimes, and I don't want my road to just be moved without getting to go to court. So would that be the best course of action?
Hold on just a second. What's your name, sir?
Chad.
What I'll do is I will give your name and phone number to our civil deputy and have him give you a call, because he's going to be the one you want to talk to about that, because he knows more about the laws and stuff as far as what needs to happen.
Okay.
So I'll have him give you a call. What's a good callback number for you? Okay, I'll send him a message to give you a call, just so you know it does come in as blocked or restricted, so you'll want to pick that up, okay?
Okay, will do.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem.
Bye. All right, guys, so here is the situation developing. The developer out here informed us that he was going to move our road. If you guys know about the situation out here, we have a developer who's bought land around us. We have a road that is in place. He doesn't like the road. He bought it that way, but he has decided to try and move it because it makes him more money to move it. It brings his plans together better. He's working with the local county here as well. They're helping him to develop in this area and move all the pieces. The issue is we have a contract, we have a deeded, recorded easement coming through in a certain place, and he just wants to willy-nilly this thing into a new location that suits him. There's no surveying being talked about, there's no recording being talked about, there's no contracts being talked about, nothing. Just wants to move the road on a gentleman's agreement, right? Which is so stupid to do. But he's convinced, and I guess he's got a couple of lawyers who have convinced him as well, is that he can just move the road wherever he wants, and as long as we have physical access in and out, that the contract doesn't matter, that it shows where it is in place at. So we're calling the sheriff to deal with it, right? We were told 2 days ago or yesterday, whenever it was, we were told he's going to do it. We obviously can't let him do that, right? Because that nullifies our contract, which then makes us, it takes away our access, right? It takes away our legal agreed upon easement into our land. So we don't want to do that. That's in a bad interest for all parties involved, right? When you don't have a contract protecting your egress into your property. It allows in the future for someone to make the argument to cut you off and cut your access out of your property. So we're not dumb, right? We're not going to play that game. So what we are doing so that the situation does not escalate to where, I have to take care of it myself, we are taking the legal route, right? We're going to call up law enforcement. We're going to find out what is the best way to do it, because what we want to do is stop him from cutting off our access and then get our day in court, right? He has to go to court and convince a judge that he should be allowed to move the road based off his wants and needs. And we will have to prove to the judge that we want the road that is existing, that is contracted. We want it to remain in place, and we don't want to have our contracts violated on the whim of a developer. So that's where we're at. Unfortunately, it looks like this guy's forcing us into court. And what he's trying to do is, bully us into doing it, right? He's just telling us he's going to do it, and then he's going to force us to do this. So we are the ones taking the legal action so far to make sure that we protect our ingress, egress, easement into this property. So that is the situation. So we'll wait for the deputy to call us back. We'll get his take on it. I imagine what we're going to be told is as soon as he starts the work, we'll have to call him. He'll come out and make sure that they stop so they don't destroy our access and cut us off. And then we will have to get an injunction, which puts it before a judge, right? So this guy buys land, knows where the road's at, decides he wants to move it based on his development needs, and he's going to drag us into court to do it. So that's the world we live in, right? When you got money and you think you can just bowl over people, you take them into court and you try to push them out, right? So happy to meet him at the door, right? Like I've told you guys before, we will always push back, especially when you come to my door. This is the third person to come to my property and tell me that they want something from my property. Since we've lived here, it's pretty interesting. I keep having these people who want what we have. They want to change it, or they want to move it. We've had people come in here before trying to tell us that we need to give them access to land because they bought land that had no access to it. Now we have this developer telling us we need to move the road so that he can develop better back here. Interesting stuff. So you guys are this is a very important lesson. No matter which way this goes, this is going to be a very important series of videos to show you guys your legal standing, to show you the course of action. And of course, when you go to court, there's no guarantee, right? Well, who knows? The judge might say, yeah, move the road just because, right? So we don't know. Or he's going to say, no, there's a contract in place. We honor that contract. We don't just poop on contracts around here. Tough. So we'll figure it out, and it's important for you guys. So we will wait for this deputy to call back, and if he doesn't call back anytime soon, we'll go ahead and put this portion of the video out, and then we'll just follow up with the next video and the next video and the next video. This has been coming. We've known that this has been coming. It's been over a year now of dealing with this guy doing stuff, going to the county, changing the zoning, trying to create issues with us here. We've known that he has to try and force the move of this road. He's tried to do it multiple times now. We've stopped him multiple times. And so this is going to be the last hurrah before we get to go to court and let a judge decide what is the legal course of action. So to be continued, my friends.
What's going on at the Sheriff's Office? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. I understand you have some questions on a civil issue?
Yeah, I kind of need to know how to handle it so it doesn't escalate. So we've got a deeded easement road, surveyed, recorded. It's legal, legit. And I have a developer out here who's like, "Hey, we're gonna move the road," and that's it. And then we're like, "Don't move the road. It's a legal road. Don't move it." So he's going to move it. They're just gonna go ahead and do it. So I need to know, what do I need to do to stop that? To get an injunction, to get it before a judge before our contract is ripped up.
Okay. So, man, I'm glad you already said that, so we're on the same page. You need to get a cease and desist signed by a judge.
Okay.
What I would do is, there's a couple of steps that you can go about it. The easiest and most expensive way is to go through an attorney. It's going to cost you more up front, might save you in the long run, if they can get it done in a timely manner. The other option would be go down to the clerk's office and explain the situation, see what kind of paperwork they have that you can file. Once a month, I think it is, they actually have somebody who comes through and helps with civil matters and understanding of the criminal justice system and whatnot. It's a court advocate. I'm not sure when he's in town, but he might be somebody to talk to as well. They may point you towards him if you don't have an attorney on it.
Okay.
Where's all this going down? be your best bet, is to get an order signed by the judge that, yeah, no, you can't go moving this road. That way, if the order is signed and then he does move the road, we got, some teeth kick in with some contempt of court charges and whatnot.
Okay.
That'd be your best bet right there. So, I mean, I'd get to it sooner rather than later there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, I guess if it goes any other way, I'll call you guys. But otherwise, I'll head down there today and go work on that.
Awesome. Perfect. Sounds like a plan.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Glad to help.
Yep. Bye. All right, guys, so you heard it. Obviously, if the situation escalates on the road, the sheriff's deputies would show up to stop it. I already know the way that these two things go. If there is an escalation, if there is a threat in the meantime, they will come out and stop it. However, they're not going to tell me to go down there and physically make something happen, correct? You guys get my drift, right? So, the legal way, right? So basically this developer is going to try to do it where he, ask for forgiveness later and force it through. And then at which point, legally there's more damages there. So who knows how this thing turns out, right? It's interesting either way, guys. And it's a learning process. It's a great lesson for all of you guys to see. And the cool thing about it is you are going to get to see it because we are going to go down and we're going to take the legal action necessary to stop them. It is going to go before a judge, and a judge is going to rule as to whether or not that road can legally be moved or not. That's where we're headed. Hit the subscribe button, follow along, hit that bell notification. I'll keep you guys up to date with this entire video series coming down the line. Gonna be a long summer.